Hello and welcome to Cloud Perceptor channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can access and use Gemini API for free. And this is going to be a hands-on session. Let's look and understand what is Gemini uh, API. Okay, so Gemini is a recent creation from Google, is making waves, and Bard is once again becoming practical option. Thanks to Gemini, achieving nearly flawless responses to your queries is now feasible by supplying images, audio, and text. Okay, so in this tutorial, okay, we'll be diving deep into the Gemini API, which will guide you through the setup process on your machine. Additionally, we'll also dive deeper into diverse Python API functionalities, encompassing text generation and image comprehension. Gemini is the most advanced and largest AI model developed by Google to date. Okay, so this is just a snippet of what you see over here on the right hand side in the screenshot. So just to give you a higher level understanding. Right. So there are three versions of Gemini model which are designed for different use cases. First is Gemini Ultra, which is largest and most advanced AI capable of performing complex tasks. Followed by Gemini Ultra is Gemini Pro, which is a balanced model that has good performance and scalability. And next is Gemini Nano, which is the most efficient for mobile devices. So as you can see, right, based on different requirements, you have this Gemini model available. Okay, so if you have a small mobile devices, you can go for Nano. There is no point of using Gemini Ultra. So that's how this different for different use cases they have these models available. So Gemini Ultra has the state of art performance exceeding the performance of GPT-4 on several metrics. It is the first model to outperform human experts on the massive multitask language, understanding benchmark which test world knowledge and problem solving across 57 diverse subjects. This showcases its advanced understanding and problem solving capabilities. So it is really great. All right. So let's first set this up. Okay. So you have this link. Okay. And just to add a point, you can access this PPT from SlideShare. I will be posting the link of this PPT in the description of this YouTube video. So you can get it from there. Okay. All right. So let's follow the first step and click on this link and open up the page. I have this page open, and as you can see, there is a get an API key option available. But before that, when you access that link, you will need a Google account, okay, a Gmail account to kind of log into this. So once you have it, you can log in and click on this get an API key. So we are gonna click on that, and it's gonna open up a page. All right, so you got to accept the terms and conditions like terms of service. So I've already gone through this terms of service, so I'm not gonna read it again, but I'll suggest you to read this and accept it. Okay, then click on continue. Right, so we are done with the first step. Let's go back to the PPT and look what is the second step. All right, so this is the second step where we can see the API key is generated. Okay, so you just need to click on the get an API key button and click on create API key in new project. Okay, so we are going to do this same step in our browser. Okay, so we are back in our Chrome browser. I'm going to click on this link, this button. Okay, so it's gonna give you a progress bar stating that it's generating an API key. Let's wait for just a few minutes. Okay, all right. We have the API key generated over here. So to be safe, yeah, just gonna copy this API key and save it somewhere. Okay, so I'll be saving it in my desktop. All right, so for the next step, I'm going to use Deep Note. Okay, I've created a workspace for my Cloud Perceptor, and when you log into this, you will see this homepage, right? Next, you got to click on the integrations. Okay, you need to click on Add Integration. Okay, you got to type in environmental variables over here. Click on here. The integration name, let's keep it as Google Gemini. The service name, let's keep it as my service. 1 second. Okay. See, the key will be keeping it as Gemini API key. Okay. And here we'll be putting the key value, the access token what we have taken from the previous page, right? When we generate this API key, we copied this and we pasted it over here. Okay. So that's it. Like once you are done with this, just click on create integration and we are done. It will just ask you to pick a project. Okay. So you can skip it for now. Okay. That's it. So our environmental variables are created now. Okay. You can see it over here. All right. Okay. So in the next step, what we are going to do is we'll be opening a command prompt. Okay. And we'll be typing in pip install hyphen q hyphen u. It should be capital U and Google generative AI. Okay. So remember you need to install this using pip. Okay. So we are installing Python API using pip. So Google generative AI looks good. Click on enter. Okay, we don't have this pip installed. Alright, so I already installed pip. So I'll just run that command again. Okay. So it's pip install hyphen q. Why we are getting some connection related issue? It says proxy error. 1 second. Right, there was some proxy setup. Let me just try this command again. If you have proxy setup or some VPN, then you might see this error. Okay, so let's see if this is working. All right, so we have this already installed. Now it's time to kind of, you know, what we'll do is we'll be setting up an API key to Google Gen AI and initiate the instance. Okay, so I'll be writing some Python code for that. Right, guys. So the command, whatever we use to install pip and Python, that needs to be done in the environment in the terminals for this deep note. Okay. So I also done it over here since we are going to write our code in deep code. Okay. So remember that thing. So we have already done that. Now time to go back to our notebook. We'll write some Python code over here. Okay. So basically this Python code is going to create an instance. Okay. So I'll be typing in import google dot generative AI. Okay, as you can see, it is showing up over here as Gen AI. Okay, okay, Gen AI. Next is import OS. So Gemini API key underscore is equal to, we'll be using OS dot Gemini API key. We already have this key defined. Okay. OS dot get environment, or we can write OS dot environment, right? Environment, and let's do it this way. Oops. Just want to change it to square brackets, and yep, that's what I wanted to do. And so what this will do is this will just get the environment variable what we defined and get the value and assign it to this variable. Next is gen AI dot configure. Okay, and API key is equal to gen uh, API key. Okay, so that's it. So we'll just run this notebook and see. Yep. So it is still giving us an error that Gemini API key. Key error. Okay, it's giving us a key error. Right, let's go back to the integration and see. Let me open this in a new tab to just go through the integrations. Okay, we have these environmental variables already defined over here. Okay, I think we need to assign it in a to a project. Okay, so that's what it was failing to. Right, so what you've got to do is once your integration is created, you've got to assign it to a project, which we'll do it now. Okay, so it is already integrated. If we go back to here, just a second, let's go back to the integration and see if that is allocated. Right, there is an option available over here as well. You can just click on plus and click on Google Gemini. It will integrate, but maybe there is something wrong. Failed to connect the integration to the, please try again later. Maybe there is some issue with this uh, deep note at the moment, hence it is not working. Okay, let me try this again. Let me try some trick. We have this terminal already created. We have this notebook instance. Okay, let me just delete this notebook instance and then try it again just to get a hope it works. Gemini. Okay, let's attach an integration. Yep, so this worked well. All right, I just copied the code from my previous notebook. I'll just run it now. Hopefully it should get the, yep, as you can see, it has correctly got, when we run this, it is working fine. It was able to get this Gemini API key. Let's print it and see if this has worked. All right, so as you can see now, our Python code is able to read the integration from the environmental variables and it's able to print it over here. So that means that our instance has been successfully created. Okay, and now we can perform the next steps. So here in this tab, we have set the API key to Google Gen AI, and we have initiated the instance. Next step is to use the uh, Gemini Pro. Okay, so after setting the API key, using the Gemini Pro model will be using it to generate content, which is simple, providing a prompt to generative content. Okay, to generate content, uh, to invoke the generate content function, and will be display the output as a markdown. Okay, so in the next step, let me just jump it to the next window. So over here, I'm going to uh, let me just write from IPython dot display will be importing markdown. Yeah. Yeah. Next is model is equal to, will be using Gen AI dot uh, dot generative model. Okay, and here I told you, right, there are different options available for the models, right? So we are going to use the Pro one, which is the Gemini hyphen Pro. Okay, done with this response. We'll be just storing the response over here. Model dot generate and underscore content. We'll be just asking some question like who who is the founder of Gemini? Okay, something like that. Who is the founder of Gemini? And will be kind of mark down the response dot text. Okay, so here, like, we are using the Gemini Pro model to generate content, which is quite simple. We are providing the prompt, okay, to the function and display the output as a markdown. Okay, so let's run this code and see how it goes. All right, there is some issue. Okay, sorry, we have done a mistake over here. It should be model dot generate underscore content and the question followed by the question. All right, it is executing, and as you can see, we have got the answer, right? Tyler and Cameron win less lower. Sorry if I misspelled it. Okay, let's ask another question. Uh, like which, what, the, or maybe which is the capital of India, right? We'll just ask it like this and kind of run it. All right, it says New Delhi. All right, so this is how, we are invoking the generate content function. We are giving it as a prompt and getting the markdown as a response. Okay, so this is quite amazing. Okay, but let's say if I don't agree with the list. Okay, and however, I do understand that it's all about personal preference, but let's say if I don't kind of agree with this list, then we can get the response candidates. Okay, something like this we can type in. Okay, so response dot candidates. So let's run it and see what is the output. Okay, we got to type in over here in the function itself. Looks like there is no response candidate available. Let me see if I have done something wrong. Okay, let me just do this. Roll this back and type in. Right, so as you can see, right, uh, in the markdown, we were getting the response as New Delhi. Okay, but uh, if you want some more candidates, let me just tweak in the question just to make you understand, right, what exactly am talking about. So let me type in the question as who is the GOAT in the NBA. Okay, and let me just run this again. Taking some time. Right. Right. So in this case, we don't have much candidates. We have only one available candidate. So it is just printing a single message. But in case you have multiple candidates, it's gonna print multiples over here. From that, you can select it. Okay. So this is the reason. I just thought that it could be some error, but no, it's not that case. I'll just comment this out over here, and we'll just type in something like you know build a simple game in Python. Build a simple game in Python, right? And we'll be using this markdown. Okay, so well, the result. Let's see what's the result is. Okay, it is executing, and you can also turn on the notifications. As you can see, we have got a response over here. The result is quite simple and kind of to the point. So here, as you can see, it's a kind of a you know a simple code. It has just given us completely the code written in Python to kind of you know of a simple game. So most of the LLMs will start to explain the Python code instead of writing it. Okay, but here we have got the code. Okay, so in the next section we'll be going to look at how you can kind of configure the response. You can customize your response using generative like generation config argument. Okay, where we'll be limiting the candidate count to one. So I showed you, right, if you have this response.candidates, it's gonna print all the candidates. So in our case we had only one candidate, so and it has given us only one response. Okay, so uh, if you're going to add a stop word like space and setting max tokens and temperature, okay, then you are gonna limit your candidate to one. Okay, so let's write some code over here. Okay, next is let me just comment out this section if you can, so that we can just kind of reuse this. Okay, here and this. I'll just put it in a single space. Response is equal to model dot generate content. Okay, it's gonna kind of the same. Write a story. Let me just write it. Change it to like write a story uh, about aliens on Mars. Okay, something like that as a story, and we're gonna put a full stop over here, and over here, as you can see, we can add a comma and just type in like uh, generation config underscore config. Okay, is equal to gen AI dot types dot generation config, right? And okay, let me just head over to the right hand side section of this. All right, we'll be adding candidate count is equal to 1. Count is equal to 1. And we'll be adding some more configuration like stop sequences is equal to the space is the stop sequence. Okay, so space, sorry, I did a typo, right? And okay, we will be typing it, oops, comma, max output tokens. Okay, so you can limit the output tokens to 200. Like, I'm just giving it a number, but and temperature is equal to 0. Let's say 7, right? Oops, 0.7. And yep, we are done over here. Yes. So, and just below this, we'll be just uncommenting this line. Markdown is equal to response.text. So that's it. We'll be just running this notebook now to see what response are we getting. It is executing, and this is the response we have got, right? So as you can see, right, the response has stopped before the word space. Okay, just before the word. 1 second. Let me see. Write a story about aliens on Mars. Okay, so here it has just stopped the response before the word space. So this is quite amazing. You can also stream response. Okay, so I'll show you in the next step how you can stream responses. All right, so let me just bring in the another code section and copy paste my code over here, right? So I'll be just using the Gemini Pro over here. I'll just make some tweaks. I'll just remove this and response, and we'll be typing in uh, writer cleaning the data. Okay, dot, and will be just like stream is equal to true, right? So this is the thing, and we'll be not using the markdown function over here. Instead of that, we'll be using for loop chunk in response, and will be print chunk dot text. All right, so that's it. T should be the small letters. Run it. Let's see what output we get. Right, so as you can see, right, the response is here, and let's understand what's the response is. So here you can see, right, it has streamed the response, like it has not given you the uh, complete code in a uh, single output, right? It has given you in the chunks. So here you can see Python, then this function, right, and this. Also you can see the comments over here, and it is streaming, right? If you run it, right, you can see it is streaming it over here. So instead of waiting, you can see it is streaming individually. So this is what I mean, streaming the response. So you can do it like this with the uh, kind of the argument for stream, right? Stream is equal to true. Let's try stream is equal to false and see what output do we get. Run it. And here you can see it's not streaming, right? We got the output in a single shot, right? So in in the another section, we are going to look at the Gemini Pro Vision API. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to load some images and we are going to display it. Okay, all right. So in this section, what we are going to do is we are going to load an image. All right, I've already uploaded an image called Taj Mahal.png. You can see it over here in the files. You can just upload it. So I already have this image. I'll just print this image over here and see if it is working. Yep, it is able to print the image over here. Right. So in the next section, as you can see, right, it's printing a high quality image. In the next section, what we're going to do is we are going to load the Gemini Pro Vision model and provide it with an image. All right. So model is equal to Gen AI and Pro Vision. Okay. Vision and response. Response is equal to model dot generate content. And here, what we're going to do is we are just going to give it as an input of the image that we have used in the earlier section. Okay, image. That's it. So let's all right, we're gonna mark down the response to response.text. Okay, so let's run this code and see how it goes. It is executing. It is a Gemini Pro Vision model that we are going to use. It is still executing. You can also turn on the notifications by clicking on over here. As you can see, right, we have just given it as an image, right, of a Taj Mahal. And it has given us the output that the Taj Mahal is a White House marble mausoleum located in Agra, India. It was so all the information, right, which is related to that, you have received this over here. So it has accurately identified the palace, like the the mausoleum, which is located in Agra, and it has also provided some additional information about history and architecture. Along with that, it has also given us information that it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So that is really great, right? So if you provide the kind of the same image to GPT-4, it's gonna give you the similar answers. Okay. So now, in the next section, what I'm going to do is I'll just provide some text and the image to the API. We have asked the vision model to write, kind of what I will ask it to write a travel blog. Okay, using image as a reference. Okay, so let's do that. So response is equal to model dot generate content. All right. So here in the generate content, we are going to pass it as an array. Okay. So over here, yeah, we are going to put it as a square brackets and just type in something like write a travel blog post using the image as reference. Okay. Okay. And what we're going to do is in the second parameter, right? Over here, we are just going to pass the image as a reference. Image, and that's it. Okay. Okay. Maybe I've done something wrong over here. Yep. It should be over here probably. Image under the square brackets. Okay. Right. Yep. This is close the okay. And next is the markdown. Just copy this from over here and response.txt. I'll just run this code quickly. Right. There's no attribute. Okay. Maybe we have to pass it over here. The second parameter. See if I added a comma. Maybe it was a full stop over there, so that's the reason. Let me try it again. All right, it is executing at the moment. Let's see what output it gives, and then we'll see. Still executing. Yep, as you can see, it has given us a travel blog. Uh, in a detailed. We have just given it as an image, right? We just asked it to try to travel blog, and you can see the output, right? It has given us the all the details over here. So as you can see, it has given us a detailed blog over here. Like it's not much details, but still quite up to the point details. So these are the features like we have just explored for the Gemini model that is available. Okay, so there are other many advanced features that we can explore, but maybe in the next video we'll cover all of them. But these are the features that you can use to get going through the Gemini, Google Gemini. Okay. So that's it for this video, guys. Do like and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.